Hello, friends, welcome back to Midlife Clarity, a space where we try to slow things down and try to make sense of life, your work, and everything that comes in between. Today, I want to talk about productivity, but not really the hustle kind of it. Like, no hacks, no time blocking, not trying to do more in less, and all of those things. But today, what I want to talk about is something more subtler. Why sometimes we aren't that busy yet we feel drained, and while at others time we are taking a lot more and somehow still have energy left. So have you ever seen this pattern? Sometimes maybe you haven't worked that much yet you feel exhausted, and at some other times you're doing a lot yet still you have more energy to keep going. Personally, when I think about this question, a specific phase of my life really stands out, and that is my college years. During my sophomore years, I signed up for electronics club. Seniors were teaching us on things like robotics, programming, sensors, designing, and all those things. Like basically all those things that as a young teen makes you feel like you can be an Iron Man, right? I really got hooked to it, and for the next 2 years, I was a regular attendee at the club. By the end of the third year, I started teaching my own coursework for the incoming freshmen. And the best thing which I really enjoyed is like I can decide what I want to teach about. It could be microcontroller, it could be sensor programming. My inner nerd was kind of thriving with all of that. And all of this was happening on top of my regular coursework, assignments, exams, and so forth. And around the same time, I interviewed for a aeronautical engineering club for a competition with balloon sets. So the idea was that you take a weather balloon and you try to do some near space experiments with sensors or like any biological experiment, depending on what you want to do. So I got selected and I thought it would be pretty great things to put on your resume, so I went in. Meanwhile, academically, I still wasn't clear what I really want to do in my life. So I did what any confused 20 years person would do. I was preparing for GRE exams, MBA, as well as for job interviews, hoping magically one of them would give me direction for my future. By the time when I was in my final year, I was leading electronics club, preparing for incoming competition of balloon set, and around the same time, one of my very close friend came and asked me if I'm interested in joining his NGO. Things was really escalating for me, and I'll tell you why I'm going about narrating all these experiences. When my friends asked me to join his NGO, I really thought, well, I'm already drowning, why not just put one more bucket of water over my head? So not only I did join, I even pitched an idea of organizing a city level event called the Street Store, a rent-free clothing pop-up for the homeless. We applied for like a global approval and we got it, and the next thing I know that is the NGO was organizing that event. At this point, this was like my reality. I had the regular university coursework. I was leading electronics club. I was building modules for the balloon set competition. At the same time, organizing a city level event. I was also publishing a research paper for my final paperwork, and I was also editor in chief for electronics magazine. And of course, like job interviews was soon coming, and we were soon going to have placement season. All of it really sounds excessive to me, even till now. But outcome was very interesting. I had the best grades of my college life. The electronics club grew bigger. We secured second spot in balloon set competition. Street Store Chennai was a successful, and it made to even local newspaper. And I had multiple job offers. So I started asking this question to myself, what really changed? Was it like my age, that is I'm not able to pull up that much of work? Was it like more responsibility, or what it is that really changed? What I realized was it wasn't the amount of the work that was bringing the change. It was what is the source of that work. Back then, most of the things which I was doing was something I wanted to do. I wanted to teach things, I wanted to build things, I wanted to organize events. That sense of autonomy really, really mattered. Today, much of our work is driven by things like deadlines, expectation, responsibilities. And like that shift alone changes how the energy feels. And very, very interestingly, back then, not everything which I was doing was something that I would definitely enjoy. For example, theoretical coursework, meh, like, no, not really my thing. Writing research paper was super exhausting. But the energy that came from the things which I really enjoyed created the necessary momentum that got me through the rest of the work. And this is what I'm trying to call as the productivity paradox. When you do things that you like, that in turn energizes you. It can actually fuel things that normally drains you. It's in some sense it just forms a positive energy feedback loop. Effort leads to your engagement. Engagement feels like that it is creating energy, and that energy then sustains effort. More likely on the things which you don't really enjoy that much. So now taking a step back, right? So maybe productivity isn't always about doing a lot more or even doing something a lot less. What matters is sustainable productivity and where your effort is really coming from. Think about it. And if it resonated with you, take a moment to really, really observe on your daily life what are the activities that actually fuels you, gives you more energy. It can be talking to a friend, doing something that you like as a hobby, or things like that. And what are the particular incidences which actually drains you? If you like to hear more about reflections like this, you can subscribe to Midlife Clarity. And if you would like to share any of your such experiences which could benefit the overall audience here, please feel to leave a comment here. Until next time, take care and slow down when you need to. Have a good day.